Hello everybody, this is New. Today is the first episode of a new series that we have decided to bring to our channel. We are pretty proud of ourselves. We're going to call it Seoul Crafting or Seoul Craft, since we live in the city of Seoul and we are crafting. The point of the series is that we're gonna, work on our projects, DIY craft, artisanal type things, and then take them out into the world and wear them and show them off in new and interesting locations in every episode. In honor of spring, both me and Malice have created spring headwear. So I'm going to show you our DIY projects very shortly, and then we're going to go into some footage of this beautiful Cottagecore cafe that me and Malice have visited a few times, which is located in Hongdae, Seoul, South Korea. This is also a really fun look into how different mine and Malice's processes are. We both decided to make something spring inspired. We both decided to make an accessory that was spring inspired, and I think it's pretty interesting. Without further ado, here we go.
If you're wondering how to make this ribbon rope, start with 2 differently colored ribbons. And with each ribbon, you need to make a ribbon taquito. So we're gonna wrap it inside, roll it up, and just keep twisting like this. And again with the black one. Sort of tuck it inside. The tighter you can get the ribbon, the better. Now once both ribbons are rolled, you can start rolling them together. And you'll end up with something looking a bit like this. Obviously it's a bit easier when you have a longer ribbon, but this is just to show you how I did it. When you finish twisting the strands around each other, go ahead and secure the end. And go back and do the top part. Like this.
I hope you enjoyed your peaceful craft session with Malice, because it's time for some chaos crafting. My flower crown has 4 components, and that's beaded flowers, beaded leaves, felt flowers, and felt leaves. So I'm going to work through those really quickly right now. For the wire flower, I first took about 35 centimeters of jewelry wire, and then I strung 10 of my mini beads onto them. After that, I fed the wire through the first bead, and that was one petal finished. You should have a short tail and then a really long tail. On the long tail, you're going to thread 10 more beads and make your next petal. Now we just repeat 3 more times until we have 5 petals. You can twist the petals around themselves if you want to tighten up your flower a little bit. Next, I use one of the wire tails to strap 3 beads into the center of the flower, just to give it a little extra detail. Twist the wires together at the bottom to make sure the flower doesn't come apart. Beaded flower done. You can make smaller or larger beaded flowers by just adding more or less beads. I made small ones using 8 beads per petal, and I made bigger ones using 12 beads per petal. Beaded leaves are just as easy to make. Take about, 15 centimeters of wire. You're gonna fold it in half to find the center and then string on 1 green bead. Next, feed both tails of wire through another green feed at the same time. Now I'm going to separate the 2 tails again and feed about 8 beads onto each tail separately. Finally, twist the top together and your leaf is finished. You just need to shape it with your fingers a little bit. For the felt flowers and leaves, I learned everything that I know about felt flower making from a YouTube channel called FumikaSaku. So I will put a link to her channel in the description. I used her freesia tutorial mainly, but she's very, very, very talented. Well, they are very, very talented, and I highly recommend all of their videos. There's so many of them. To make the base of the flower crown, I just doubled over a thick piece of jewelry wire and made loops on either end. Later on, I'm going to use those loops to put like a ribbon through it to tie it closed on the back. And the reason I've done it this way is so that you can adjust the size of the flower crown. It also means you could like fit it over a straw hat or something like that if you really wanted to. Last step before assembly is to sandwich your wire base between felt so that it looks nice and so that it's not poking you in the brain. At this point, all of your bits and bobs are mounted on wire, so you can just use that wire to assemble your flower crown.
But I have to stay afloat. It's not easy. Be a person you don't want. Can somebody take me other thing? Going to do. Where's the life I? Where's my childhood? Is this called living? I don't know. Where's the life I? Where's my childhood? Is this called living? I don't know. I don't wanna grow. Just live myself. I don't wanna grow. The things I left behind me.
So this beautiful cafe is called Cafe Poet. It's located at Songsu Station in Mapogu, but it's basically right next to Hongdae University or Hongik University. Both times Malice and I have visited this cafe, they've had Lolitas and cosplayers taking photos in the gardens and around the cottage because it's just beautiful scenery. The menu's pretty standard, normal coffee offerings, Americano, latte with different syrups, basic teas. They also have roll cakes and lemonades. So we had a lemonade and a passion fruit aid, which was called a fashion aid on the menu. The one special or defining feature about it, I guess, is that they pick fresh sprigs of various herbs from their own garden to put in your own drink. I recommend this cafe quite a lot just for the atmosphere. If you live in a big city or if you've been in Seoul for a while, this cafe feels like a little chunk of cottagecore romance. I don't know. Just a break from the big city. There's a lot of insulation from the sounds of traffic, and it's just a really peaceful way to spend an afternoon.